It's curious to think that in the 21st century, there's still a group that, for over 10,000 years, has lived purely off nature to survive. No farming, no raising animals. They can spend all day rubbing stones together to make fire, even turning down a lighter. Those who have visited the shores of Lake Eyasi in northern Tanzania have seen the unique daily life of the Hadza people. There, men can have more than 10 partners at the same time. How do they manage to pay attention to all of them in one day? Maybe it's a mystery. Get ready to learn about the amazing life of this rare group as we show you details of their daily life. The Hadza tribe, living around Lake Eyasi, has built a remarkable way of life over thousands of years. They are masters of hunting and gathering, keeping a deep and respectful connection with nature. Their daily life shows a rare balance between toughness and living in harmony with the environment. The Hadza live in small family groups that move around based on where they can find natural food. When hunting, the men show not only great skill, but also special talents. Instead of checking social media in the morning, they grab bows and arrows to find the day's food. They hunt everything from small antelopes to wild pigs and birds, which needs focus and skill. A cool part of their life is how much hunting dogs help them. These animals are more than just friends. They are super important for a successful hunt. If a dog gets weak, the group understands the circle of life, making sure nothing goes to waste. The Hadza believe nature gives them everything they need, and in return they follow its rules, making sure not to waste anything. They live in simple shelters made of branches and leaves, which are easy to put up and take down, fitting their moving lifestyle. This life on the go keeps them deeply connected to nature, which is rare these days. Can you imagine living in such a temporary home, always ready to move? Unlike the strict rules we know, the Hadza don't have permanent leaders. Everything is decided together, and everyone, no matter their age or gender, gets to speak their mind. This group system is very different from the formal ways we are used to. For them, time moves differently, no clocks or deadlines. The sun tells them when to work, the full moon inspires dances, and the seasons guide their actions, all without rush or hurry. Maybe that's how they've found a real way to live in the moment. Without the women, maybe the Hadza wouldn't have lasted until today. Before we go on, please subscribe to the channel. It helps us bring even better content. Hadza women are the backbone of the group. They know which plants are safe to eat, which ones heal, and where to find them, all without technology or maps. This knowledge is super important for keeping the group healthy and fed. They take care of the kids, do daily chores, and gather healing herbs. The balance between men and women supports this way of life. While the men hunt, the women handle everything else. This unique society has allowed the Hadza to survive for thousands of years. If you're enjoying the video, please click like. It encourages us to keep going. Now back to the interesting point about having 10 wives. Yes, you heard that right. Among the Hadza, a man can have up to 10 wives. But before you judge, understand, for them, having many wives isn't about status or showing off. It's a way to survive. Life in the savannah is tough, and for them, more wives mean more help with important tasks like gathering food, taking care of children, and keeping the community healthy. Each wife plays a super important role, forming a true team for survival. But to live this way, the man needs to show amazing hunting skills and leadership. And let's be honest, with so many wives, he's never short on things to do or company. Among the Hadza, marriages are usually set up by families, but both the groom and the bride must fully agree. When a couple decides to get married, it's common for the groom's family to give gifts to the bride's family. These gifts, like honey, food, or crafts, show respect and make family ties stronger. Even though having many wives is accepted, most Hadza men only have one wife, so the traditional family is more common than you might think. Wedding ceremonies are happy events with lots of music, dancing, and everyone in the group joining in. There are no fancy dresses or suits. The bride and groom proudly wear animal skins. After they get married, their jobs are clearly divided, but they work together very well. The men handle hunting and protection, the women gathering and taking care of the children. Both roles are equally important for the group to keep going. Have you ever wondered how these people, one of the last hunter-gatherers in the world, find water in one of the driest places on earth? They get water from natural sources like streams, wells, and hidden underground springs. One common way is to dig deep into dry riverbeds until they hit water, which takes a lot of patience. They store water in natural containers like tree bark or dried gourds. But water isn't the only challenge. To eat, they rely only on what the land gives them. They eat roots, wild fruits, honey, and various meats, even from animals rarely seen on our plates, like porcupines. While known from documentaries, these animals are a key source of food. They also hunt rodents, antelopes, and in tough times, they turn to insects and reptiles, using everything nature provides. Now think, could you eat insects or porcupines? And what about trading? Do they use money? The answer might surprise you. Their way of trading is based on something much more personal, sharing and swapping. If someone needs something, they just ask for it and in return offer what they can. This practice not only makes their group bonds stronger, but also makes sure no one goes without the basic things they need to live. Nowadays, though, some Hadza have started to use money, mostly when dealing with nearby villages or local markets. They sell handmade baskets or detailed ornaments and also take part in cultural tourism, welcoming curious visitors who want to learn about their habits and way of life. The money they get, often in dollars, lets them buy things that don't exist in nature, like modern clothes or iron tools. When hunting, the Hadza still use bows and arrows made by hand, a skill passed down for generations that keeps the group's identity alive. The bows are made from the strong wood of acacia trees, while the arrowheads can be made of bone or metal. Even so, hunting in Hadza culture isn't just done any old way. It needs huge patience, understanding animal behavior, and knowing the perfect moment to act. They move like shadows through the plants, silently following their targets. They can read signs left by the forest, like light footprints, broken branches, and tiny marks left by the animals themselves. Every move is planned down to the smallest detail. When they spot an animal, they wait calmly, sometimes for hours, until the exact right moment to strike. Success depends more on accuracy than strength. One well-aimed shot can decide if there will be food that day. In group hunts, the Hadza's teamwork is like a coordinated dance. They use simple gestures, like hand signals or soft whistles, to talk to each other and adjust their movements. Interestingly, the full moon plays a big part in these hunts. Its light brightens the savanna, letting them see animals without needing artificial light, as if nature itself provides a natural flashlight. For many of us, a clear night is just a pretty sight, but for the Hadza, it's a vital chance they can't miss. There's something almost poetic in those moments, as if the earth is helping them survive. For the Hadza, honey is much more than a sweet treat. It's a super important source of energy and food, just as essential as hunting. But getting this liquid gold is a real journey. They get help from a bird called a Honeyguide to find beehives hidden in the tall trees of the savanna. With bravery and skill, they climb without any gear, facing bee stings while using simple tools to collect the honey, enjoying every drop, even with the pain. Did you know that at certain times of the year, honey can make up to 80% of the calories the Hadza eat? This sweet, healthy food not only feeds them, but also helps during times when food is scarce. For them, bees aren't just insects. They're seen as sacred guardians of one of the nature's most precious gifts. Every nest is treated with respect, and collecting honey almost becomes a spiritual ritual. Even the stings are accepted as a necessary part of this job, a symbolic cost to get to nature's treasure. And if you thought they use a box of matches to start a fire, forget about it. The Hadza are masters of an ancient way to make flames, just like their ancestors did thousands of years ago. To do this, they only use two pieces of wood, a firm dry base and a thin stick. First, they put dry leaves or grass on the base. Then they quickly spin the stick with their hands, like they're warming them up on a cold day. The rubbing creates heat, and in a few seconds, a spark appears. With a gentle blow, the grass starts to burn, creating fire without needing any modern tools. Can you imagine making fire with just your hands? It's a survival skill that few people master today, something we see more in reality shows than in real life. While many get annoyed when their lighter fails, for the Hadza, this is an art, passed down through generations. Watching this process is like seeing an ancient dance that makes us think about how much we rely on technology. Another interesting habit among the Hadza is smoking something called taco. And no, this has nothing to do with Mexican food. Taco is a special mix of wild tobacco and local herbs, made in a simple but effective way. The preparation starts with gathering the tobacco leaves, which are dried and ground into a powder. This powder is mixed with ashes from other plants, forming a substance that can be rolled into leaves or smoked in handmade pipes. The most interesting part is the social value of this practice. The Hadza gather around the fire, passing the pipe from hand to hand. Smoking taco is more than just relaxing. It's a time for connecting, sharing stories, and making the bonds between members stronger. But will it taste good? That depends on who tries it. It's definitely an acquired taste. And what about clothes? Hadza clothing is practical and made just right for life in the big African savanna. Made from the leather of hunted animals, it's carefully prepared to protect against the weather and allow movement during gathering and hunting. Men wear short leather skirts, while women prefer longer styles, often with cloaks or shawls that protect them from the sun and the cold night. The decorations, though simple, have deep meaning. Necklaces made of seeds, shells, or natural beads aren't just pretty. They stand for important traditions and meanings. Hadza culture also thrives through music and dance. At night, by the light of campfires, everyone gathers for energetic dance rituals. Children, adults, and elders celebrate the miracle of life together. The way they learn is also fascinating. There are no schools, books, or teachers. Learning happens naturally. Children watch and copy adults from a young age. Boys go with the hunters and learn to use bows, follow tracks, and walk silently. Girls, on the other hand, learn from the women how to gather fruits, dig up roots, and identify healing plants. Besides practical skills, stories and songs play a central role in passing down values. Around the fire, elders tell tales that, besides being entertaining, teach customs and important lessons for living in the harsh environment. Today, the Hadza face huge problems. For centuries, they roamed freely hunting and gathering, but much of their land is being turned into farms. This forces the group to change. Even so, many Hadza find creative ways to keep their traditions alive, even under pressure. Did you know these interesting facts about the Hadza tribe? Share in the comments what surprised you the most. If you liked today's video, please support us by giving it a like and subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to check out the video on your screen now, and I'm sure you'll find it fascinating. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.